So, some people today were, I guess, I don't usually engage people on Twitter, but some stuff came out. The Mandalorian, that that woman Anita Sarkeesian, piped up. Oh, there's no women in this. There's blah, blah, blah. Something. I get sick and tired of that. Can somebody just tell a story that we all enjoy and not worry about all this stupid crap? This is what escapism is. It's what entertainment is supposed to be. It's not entertainment when you're trying to interject reality into things, okay? Like, think about it like this, okay? And this is a real, like, if you go and you want this diversity so bad, the quality of things is going to drop so much. People are going to start losing money, not just not making money. They're going to start losing money. Okay? Now, what you see right here is the developer area, okay, that I have at Epic Games, and in specific, the Unreal Engine. And since they started this, where every month they give out some free stuff, and then there's free stuff that they have already, I just want to go through here and show you guys what you all missed because a small group of people were doing the same thing Arnita Sarkeesian does and was complaining about politics and various things that were happening in the world. And some CEO of this company might have said something that triggered a whole bunch of people that, in my opinion, are no worse than the SJWs. There are two types of these types of people. There is the ones on the far left, and there's the ones on the right. And they both need each other to exist. They scream and yell and cry and do all this stuff. Meanwhile, the rest of us who just want to have some fun and engage in storytelling or be told a good story, right? We're the victims here, and we're the they call us the silent majority. The problem is, okay, both these sides are a very small minority, and corporations are starting to realize that it's they're playing to us in the middle more, and you can even be on the left and right, and you're still not far enough right or left for all these people, okay, right? I've sat with people who are liberal and had good discussions because, the odd time they make a decent point about something. So, yeah. And then it's like, there was a Christian guy who had a channel here, and he says, if you see a guy on the street and he's hurt or something, you don't just walk right by him and do nothing for him. That's not a human thing to do. You try to help him, right? There's no politics there, you see? And this is where I get away from all the politics, okay? So I just wanted to start with that before I start showcasing some of this stuff here that I have, okay? Now, I've got a whole crap ton of projects that I've started here. And the interesting thing is, okay, let me see here. Am I going to be able to, it won't let me interact with that. Hold on here a minute. What happens when I do this? Does it move? It does. So, it's actually, this is different. But anyway, I've got all these different little projects that I started here. And basically what I was doing when I was doing all this was I was thinking of YouTube, where other people might want to not just see a link to some of this, but see how it's actually used, okay? And so I would go in, load this stuff up. Now you want to see the kinds of things that go into video games. These are all the little pieces of things that go into video games. There's just, it looks overwhelming, but once you get your head wrapped around a lot of the mechanics of things, this company has basically made everything modular, where you just have to then put this piece with this piece with this piece with this piece, and you're done. And they've given you the right to make commercial money off this, and the terms are actually pretty good too, because you can make every quarter up to $3,000, and they don't bother you. Okay, and that's like saying, okay, you're gonna make a little indie game and you or something, and you want to start making a buck. The first couple of bucks, we're gonna give it to you, so you can pay some expenses or something, right? And you'll notice, okay, all this time I'm doing this stuff, I haven't done a Kickstarter, I haven't done an Indiegogo, I haven't done anything. It's because I wanted to be able to learn all at least all the aspects that go into this, and then dive into actually bringing all this stuff up. Like this is what I'm saying. Look at all this. Okay. Now, see, here's some characters that they gave out from one of their AAA games that you can use in any of your stories or your like a television show, because the game engine can do cinematics too. Eh? And they're moving the engine in a direction where you actually, if you're doing something cinematic, you click on a button and it takes you to the cinematic aspect, okay? And it still has all the game stuff in there. It's just that it will then start you a project that has some basics, you know? And I just have to say, guys, while everybody's arguing and fighting, the rest of us are just going on. And even if the COPA stuff ends, say, my channel, right? What I'm going to do is, in the last couple of days of it, I'm going to pull up my Discord and say, I want everybody who's subscribed to me to drop in, okay? At least that way, you will have a way to get a hold of me, okay? And I urge everybody to do things like this so that if you do get like I'm in Canada, so they can't find me, right? At best, they would cancel my channel. Well, if they start canceling enough Canadians' channels, like we're the second largest users of YouTube. Okay, it may not seem that way, but there's a huge number of us that engage in YouTube. Well, we're not the second largest, but we're up there. And so what I would say is that the second this starts happening is that some of us in Canada need to start a new YouTube that's not YouTube in Canada. Okay, I mean it's going to direct what the FTC is doing. It's not protecting any children. It's carving up Google into regional countries by jurisdictions. Okay, I'm not going to be forced to kowtow to some bureaucrat who has no clue what he's doing, okay, and uses vague definitions to try and screw with us and threaten us, okay, when I'm not the website operator called YouTube. I am not going to play this game, all right? So if they want to make an example of me, bring it on, okay? When the word gets out all around the world, you're going to find out why you picked the wrong fight with me, okay? I've run websites and been a website operator of websites, okay? I will travel to the United States and go right into that damn courtroom and I will massacre, okay, these people on what is written in the COPA law, all right? Now, I wanted to just say that because everyone's all right now about it. You got to fear because it's like a lawyer had explained. It doesn't even matter if they're wrong; they can still sue you and still fine you, et cetera, et cetera. You got to go then spend money and go to court. This is where all of us need to get together, and the first people that get nailed with this. Okay, we need to help them. All right, it doesn't matter who they are. Okay, and what's this going to do? This is going to take money away from Christmas. It's going to take money away from the economy. It's going to take money, and this is just going to, like, the world economy is sitting on a teeter right now of a recession. Trump is about to hit in the middle of December with some tariffs that affect all technology, basically. There's very little that won't be affected, okay? And in fact, some of these tariffs, while he says it's only 15%, parts get made, in China, shipped to Japan, put in another part, sent back to China. There's 30% now. You see what I'm saying? It just keeps. You may see stuff double in price. You may see stuff go up 50%. Okay, like this is where these. I don't know what the solution is, eh? Usually when I like to complain, I try to come up with a solution about something, and the solution isn't here. Okay, it isn't. And anyway, I mean, I watched a bit of the this farce in Ukraine. You know what I get the feeling of? I get the feeling they're all damn corrupt jerks. I just do. It just makes me go, ooh, all of you are just, uh, uh. This is why a lot of us don't vote anymore. How could I vote for you knowing you're a corrupt piece of crap? How could I vote for you? You're a corrupt piece of crap. How could I vote for you? It's beyond what George Carlin said, where I'm not responsible. Okay? We need to take that the next step and say we need to make people responsible again. Good luck with that. I'm getting older, and the older you get, the less you're able to really do about it all, because the end of life is coming, and you might as well just enjoy a bunch of it because your time's short. Eh? You know? But anyway, yeah, so all these characters and different things like that, and packages and different ways to do things. You got weapon packs and buildings and particles and all this stuff, right? I just wanted to show off. I've been going around grabbing this stuff since they gave it out, because here's how they do it. Every month they give out 4 to 5 things, okay, for that month. So if you get it inside that month, you get to keep it forever for commercial use. After that month, it goes back on sale. So I've been collecting this stuff for a long time now, a whole year apparently. And this means I have a ton of stuff to make games with. Okay, so even if you're out there and you saw something that on the Epic's marketplace costs money, get a hold of me or something, and maybe I have something that's free, and we can work something out. Like I'm not all about money all the time either, eh? I would rather see somebody have some enjoyment and fun for nothing than have to be some corporate shill tag, like that little tweet by that Anita Sarkeesian. Like, how is that broad even still relevant? I mean, come on here. Her own company is bankrupt. All right, that's all we need to say. Everybody in that Twitter thread should have said, "You're bankrupt. You don't get the right to talk here because you couldn't even keep your own bloody company up, and you want to tell a big corporation what to do?" Meh. Start another company, Anita, and let it be successful, and then maybe you got the right. Instead of taking everybody's shill money from the wingnuts. Just a little aggravated at all that. But yeah, so really neat stuff. Okay. And and there's also this thing called Twin Motion. I don't know if it's going to pop up here. It might. Now, this little program is for, it allows you to build buildings and things. And they're integrating it with the Unreal Engine. And as you can see here, the kinds of things, like this is why I was trying to tell some of these people that I engage with in YouTube chats and stuff, that the technology is moving so far beyond you guys that if you don't pay attention to it and start getting into, or at least participating in some of this in some fashion, you're all going the way of a dodo bird. And I don't mean to be mean, because there's a lot of good people that wanted to just draw and have some fun, And it's just, when I get all this stuff for free, I no longer need a comic book, do I? I can create my own comic book. I can go over to Blender and just start mucking with grease pencil, and soon enough, I'll be doing stuff in 2D animation, right? And then what? And that's a brand new thing. I try to help you guys out, but there are people that don't resist or that resist change, and then there are people that resist the wrong kinds of change. Okay, evolution happens. Okay, even the church, the Catholic Church, agrees now. Okay, you don't go there with that. Okay, and even in software and in technology, things evolve, and the evolution is like you go back and you look at this dragon world. This was actually one map, and then I just started bringing things in. And then this little guy over here that you see, the mannequin and the composure framework thing, right? You retarget a skin that you guys would think of as a skin, okay, onto these little characters, and the animations are already preset and just moved by a set of bones in the thing, and then you do stuff, right? Like I've got stuff from castles, some normal city stuff. There's sci-fi elements in here. You got vehicle movement games, things. So you could take this, bring it into something like this, and you can drive around in your city. And then you got a little GTA like game without having to pay Rockstar every month. you know, do you guys see what I'm doing here? I'm making value to myself. It's not even about anyone else. This is about me saving money and getting some entertainment. This dragon over here looks spectacular. Okay, I mean the the sheer amount of stuff you can get, and if you just go like this, you can see what. We'll do a little tour of the marketplace there, and prices aren't that high either. See, you got some music pack there that you can use in your games and stuff like that, and there's spaceships that these guys are making. Like these are like it's just I could be making stuff and putting it in here and making a buck, but I'm not doing that, and because that way I don't look like I'm a shill being paid by Epic, which I'm not. I mean, I'm giving stuff for free, so you know. Now the unfortunate thing is this lawyer that has been talking about this Hogue guy. He directly mentioned certain video games that will be hit by COPPA, and Fortnite was one of them because too many young kids play the game, and that's what you need to look at if you're a gamer. How many young kids are playing your game? If it's seen to be a game that a lot of young kids are playing, it's done. Okay, it's done. Minecraft done. Okay, The Sims done. Roblox or whatever you call it, done. Fortnite, done. All right. There's a bunch of these games, right? Like I've looked on my list, and there's only out of all those games, there's about 6 games that are rated for teens, right? But the way I do my channel is it's just me playing games. I'm not telling anyone to buy a game or not, right? No, mind you, some of the news articles talk about free games and different stuff that, but that's news, right? I don't know whether that's geared towards everybody, right? And adults play games. So this is where they get stupid on stuff. And one game, the Tux cart game, it's really cartoony. That one is getting pulled off my channel. I'll just pull it. I'm just not going to bother with it because meh. And going forward, then I'm going to be looking at games that have a rating of M for mature. I mean, that's it. So the ESRB, okay, in lessening these ratings, okay, for their loot boxes and everything else, has done the disservice now because in this FTC world, okay, of showing off their stuff, they're going to get no advertising for the games that they wanted, okay? Right? It's going to be actually to your benefit to make as violent a video game as you want. I mean, and to make sure that it's rated M. Because you won't be seeing it on YouTube. And if you do, it's the person probably that's made the game, and they know they're not going to be making any money from any views from it. Okay, because you can't direct that kind of stuff to at children, right? Like the whole thing is silly. But anyway, yeah. Free for the month, and these were the ones that were free for the month. And I haven't shown off the interactive light system, or I don't think I did. I may have, but you basically have different ways of turning on lights and turning off lights, which again, that's handy, right? One of the most useful things I say to comics books people, where was it again? There was one here, way down here. Let's go. Let's go. Where were you again? Yeah, I'm waiting for this to get fixed. It's allows you to interact and destroy buildings and different things, which is really cool. Um, where was it? It was a storyboard thing. Where are you? Uh, uh, oh, where did I put you? It was an interactive story thing. Yeah, see, there's some modular sci-fi bits to build bases and different things. Like, that's what I mean. I got materials, I got everything in here. I've even got stuff to make actual servers out of this stuff and have multiplayer and everything. Everything. It's just never ends. Where is it? Do 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 do. More sci-fi stuff. And see, some of this, the reason why some of the I have so much of this is some of this is only usable in certain versions of the engine too. So if you were going to do a little movie thing or something or a TV short, you might use that aspect of one engine thing and then do it up and then composite it and everything else and then do other stuff, right? I don't know where I put it. Dun, dun, dun. It was hard to see in this. We've been asking them to make it so we can set this stuff by genres inside here to make it a little easier to do this because, yeah, as you can see, you start getting a lot of crap. Okay, there's all the Paragon stuff. Paragon, 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 Paragon. Create your own icons. No, that wasn't it. And there's the ocean one. That one just killed my graphics card. In fact, I had heat issues for the rest of the day, and it was like, if you guys saw the way I've done this now, you'd be going, oh my god, son. Just go offline for a month and get a new graphics card, which basically I've kind of sort of. That's why I'm not doing much stuff right now. I don't want to totally burn the card out. I mean, 8 years on a $200 graphics card. So divide that by 8, that's how much entertainment has cost me. And I look at people that buy $600 consoles every 2 years. I mean, you're wasting your money. You are. That's the reason why a PC user ends up being able to save money in the end. People don't see that right away. It's how you treat your computer, how you look after things, everything. Modular building sets, actors, mesh stuff, military characters, mega scans. Yeah, this is the mega scan stuff. This is all the stuff that that professional company gave out, and starting I think shortly, was it next month? We get to use their website and it integrates into the next version of the engine, which I have installed. I mean, it's crazy how much at one point I had 500 gigabytes of stuff here. All right, in order to play games, I started having to go, okay, what project can I take out of here? This is crazy. Oh yeah. So where is it, man? Where are you? I wanted to show this off because it's one of the things that John Dillard was looking at, and he said that's really neat. And the thing is, it's 2D enough that like that one the game I had up called The Observer. It uses the same technology, and it allows for a decent story that somebody could uh, be an artist in and not have that much, heavy 3D character stuff. Like you can still have 3D characters in it, but a person who it likes to draw could do a lot of things with that. And it's simple enough, right? I don't see it in here. Where'd it go? Oh, first, here it is. This is it here. So this, and the way they set this up, you can wander around in the room, and the guy that did this found me on YouTube, and we talked quite a bit about different things and stuff, which was really neat. And I told him how I do things and what I do, and I left a link to his page, right, and went over there, and as you can see, there's an update. Huh. Let's update while we're sitting here. And what this does too is every place in the every project that I've done, a little pop-up will come up saying, "Do you wish to update?" Because you might have made some changes, right? And therefore, blah blah blah. So anyway, that's a whole project. So you can strip pieces of parts out and move them around and stuff. Once you learn how to do that, all this stuff just becomes so much fun to play with. Like the jetpack thing was cool. The problem is that the guy that was doing the jetpack thing isn't updating it to newer versions of the engine. So this is where I'm going to have to dig in and see what has changed and why you can't just update that. I left a message there. I says, for other people, this is going to be a lot less useful because he's not updating it. And like you can take this thing here, the animation starter pack, right? You get the little poses, right? And they have what's called the socket here. And you can then take a gun or a weapon and put it in his hand, and it will have an animation to go with it, and there you go. And see, they have all these little poses for your guys, right? That was one of the first ones that was in there. Anyway, you go back in here. One of the ones that had a ton of animations was, so you got animals, right? Everything in here, right? Dynamic combat system, that was the magic using kind of guys. You can have, so if you were doing superheroes, right, you could have your flame guy, you could have someone who casts and creates ice, you have wizards or whatever, that kind of jazz. The possibilities are just, and this is what they're creating here, and while everybody's not paying attention, okay, I'm in here going, ooh, I drool over that. You got an engine built on horror games, so you can go in here and you can start fleshing out your own little horror game. Like this is a template that was given out. And this Ice Cool thing, I did a video. I made the cinematic up. I went to Free Music Archive and got some public domain music, put it on there, and the website 4 months later closed, and then I got a copyright claim. Okay, that's disgusting. Okay, I feel like I should, that's one time when you don't want to fight it and everything, but I just nuked it. I got a copy of it locally. Anybody on Discord wants to look at that video that I made for that, I'll get a hold of you and you can do that. And like I say, public domain music is public domain. Okay? Once you do that, that's it. Okay? In Canada, that's it, right? You're just trying to steal 1 penny off me. Yeah, that's what the view count was at. It was 1 penny, if that. So apparently Google's running ads on my stuff, right? I've tossed on an ad blocker because during this COPA thing, I'm not putting any money into Google until they smarten up. Okay, I'm not a website operator. Sorry, I'm not collecting data, and I'm not allowing you to collect any data on me. Have a nice day. Now they made it. The lawyer made it clear that there is a terms of service that they put in there that actually may specifically target people that use an ad blocker. That And the reason they haven't hit hard on that is because so many people use it that that first of all they go and they dump the entire however many millions of little kids are watching YouTube, right? I got a neighbor. She has her kids watching YouTube, right? And she has no clue what's going about to happen, right? And it's just yeah. It's a wait and see game. I'm not gonna stress myself over this crap. This is one of the things I'm learning to get better at is not to get as angry about stupid things. Just it's almost to the point where I'm just gonna start ignoring really whacked stuff. Why give it press? is my story. Yeah, and there's even some kind of Asian temples. There's oh yeah, the jetpack set. So this was a really neat thing, right? But as you can see, it only goes to the 4.22 engine, right? And I wrote yeah, that guy. Okay. Anyway. Hmm. So yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in here that one could play with. Like, and I was telling, I tweeted Chester Bugsby. He does this little thing for his gamers that play Dungeons and Dragons. I says, you could have somebody like myself or anybody make up some little scenes for you you do it every week. So you got a whole week to put something together visually for your players, and then you could just say, this is what you see. Now, wouldn't that be cooler than telling people and trying to describe it and having any confusion? This is what you see, you know? And it's always good to find people like myself, because as we're learning, we don't charge money for this stuff. Why would I charge money for learning? I mean, it's, if it's something, you know, ah, got loading screens, all this stuff. And this is what I say. There's a whole bunch of neat things that they've added into this stuff. Dun, 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 dun. Shader packs, ballistic things. Um, there's all kinds of stuff in here. 4K materials, like for the newer generation of monitors. Honestly, I'm never going to make stuff for 4K only. All right. In fact, I don't see a reason that at this stage, and probably for the next 10 years until all our monitors are that old, we need new ones. Not going to happen. I don't see 1080p is more than enough. Okay, and if you're using a giant size monitor, then you're one of the rich people that can afford such things, and that's really not my target audience for things. Okay, all right. I'm all about fun. I'd rather make a game that looks like crap and is fun as hell to play than the other way around. All right? It's just fantastic to look at, but nobody's playing it because it's hard to play, or there's only 10 people that can afford it. But all the technology's here, guys. This is what I'm saying. You can do Hollywood style. They've done Star Wars CGI with this. They've done stuff in the Terminator movies with this. They've done all kinds of high-end stuff. And this is why I say this is where it's at. 50 gigabytes. I had the other engine installed, and I just uninstalled it because I got sick of having 25 gigabytes of space I'm barely using because they just haven't updated it yet. And this version here compared to this one here it lags a bit, okay? And that's an issue that they need to solve first. So they did an update. I'll have to check things out. And this is where I say I did this thing with a bump map here, and with that new plugin. Now the thing is, they want you to put a credit card in there and to start with, and at a certain threshold of data pulls. See what this new plugin for making cities is. The data sits on their servers, okay, and you pay them when it gets to a point where that data transfer gets to be a certain cost to them. That's how that works. But what it allows you to do, and this is again, when you're making a video game, you need to put your data somewhere, right? And it's either on the local machine, right, or not. And you don't want certain things like that on the local side because of tampering, right? This is where cheaters and everybody else would then be able to go in and just do things, right? Now, mind you, if you made a game that was moddable, something like this new plugin wouldn't be exactly what you wanted. And you can refresh in here. So they're going to keep releasing more Mega Scan packs, and this just gets crazy, the amount of stuff that these guys have done. There's thousands of materials and stuff. This was probably made with it. Like, that's what I mean. Like, all the big boys use this stuff. That's the thing. See, and you get discounts, right? So you're not good at doing 3D special effects, right? Like creating the characters. Well, okay, $3.50 you get this guy, right? This guy here is a little more detailed. You get this, and the prices of things in here is quite good usually. And if enough of us probably ask for something, Epic will probably go buy them and then make it free or something like that, free for the month, you know. It's actually pretty neat, some of the stuff here. There's a marine there. Not bad looking. Yep. Yeah, I wouldn't be buying. See, and that's the thing. I'm staying away from stuff that looks too cartoony because in the future, I don't want a COPA violation, right? This one here, I had a problem with. I'll show you. It's collision detection on it. I have to go in and play with the code on it because every time I tried to bring something in, it would drop down below the map, and there's issues with certain things. I even tried driving this player object to a different part of the map where it shouldn't fall through, and it just went weird on me then. So okay. See, this is the thing, right? So a student's saying that what happens after the month? Well, you keep it. You keep it, and you get to commercially use this according to the Epic Unreal Engine terms of service. Okay? Anyway, I just wanted to show all this off to some of you guys, and I'm going to put this I'll put it up to YouTube, and then I'm going to put this up at Twitter and say, this is what the kids and adults of this world have free access to. Okay? This is all of it. Okay? This is everything that and there's more stuff you can get that's free that I just didn't think I needed, or there was something better I could use. Okay? Doesn't mean that, I couldn't do it. And then this window capture thing is actually pretty cool. Some of the compositor stuff that you can do with this. Like, check this out. All right? Like, see? Just imagine what you can do with things like televisions and putting up browsers around you. You'd be like a news station, and whoa, that's cool, There's a lot of things you can, you gotta have a imaginary mind, okay? Out of the box. What would I do with this, right? Well, what would be cool is I could have, I could put a YouTube channel over on the left here, and then one over on the right here, at say 720p each, and be looking at two different live streams, right? You make a thing like that. You could have communications of different people in a thing, and have this as a game for yourself. So basically what you could end up doing is making your own communications application that actually looks into all these other things for you, right? you would have to log into, say, each of these things, and then it would show you a little area. And if you click on it, let's say then it gets big for you. And just have this as an in-between application layer, and then you don't have to worry about Google at all, or Chrome, or any of that garbage, right? Like, see, these are things that I'm thinking of as a future, as what could be coming down the pipes, right? I don't need Chrome, then actually, right? Then you got to get into browser plugins, and you got to yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I know. I've actually created my own browser in the past. Yep. Several of them actually, just to see if I could do it. Gave out copies to some of my old friends, and we made our own versions that actually we then made web pages that were not viewable by the rest of the public, and it was only viewable by our software. Interesting, eh? What a concept. Wonder how much of that's going on in the world. Awful damn secure when your browser won't even be able to show you. Anyway, then you add a little encryption to that, and you got spy software all of a sudden that governments are probably interested in, or something like that. You see, I just had some thoughts for that. Anyway, guys, I'll let you go, and just remember, if it ain't fun, don't do it.